My body has been possessed by someone. Chapter 5. Cold and White as an Ice Sculpture. From AudiNovel. Why should I be bound and live my days, my time, at the mercy of you, mother? And especially to you, a guest in my own mansion. Why should I, to you, mother? The color drained from Josephine's face. She was clearly embarrassed and kept her mouth shut. You. What are you saying? Your mansion. I'm a guest. Are you saying I'm a guest? Yes. Because I am the wife of Duke Silvia and Valentino. This mansion belongs to the Duke and his wife, the Duchess. Mother. If we're going to be precise, mother, you should have moved out long ago. Every word she said rubbed on Josephine's sore spot. Josephine did not want to lose the power of the Valentino family. She has always wanted to be the mistress of Valentino. But time passes and everything changes. Now, Josephine has to hand over the mansion to the new mistress, even if she doesn't want to. So she stayed in this house and made it known to the public that she is still here. Fortunately, her son, who is indifferent to the house, did not care whether she stayed or not. I'm still the mistress of Valentino. In order to ensure this in both name and reality, Kana was ordered to give her greetings 3 times a day to remove all doubts about who has more authority between the two mistresses of the mansion. Kana has been compliant so far and she never thought of opposing the injustice. But she suddenly changed. That dumb daughter-in-law touched a sensitive area. Kana Addis. It's Kana Valentino, mother. Kana retorted with a hoarse voice. It was like a hard slap to Josephine. She finally reached her limit. How dare you treat me like a guest? Hey, what are you doing? Whip her again. Now. But it wasn't necessary anymore. Kana already lost her strength and her body fell heavily on the floor. The back of her head hits the carpet. Until she admits her wrongdoing, never treat her and don't even give her medicine. Don't let anyone in this room. Her field of vision darkened gradually. Kana slowly closed her eyes, unable to resist the heat that warmed her entire body. After Josephine's strict orders, Kana lost her consciousness. Crazy. Even though it's already night time, Josephine's anger did not disappear. A person can't change that much unless they're crazy. Kana Valentino. No. Kana Addis. An illegitimate child of the Addis family. Black hair and black eyes. To cover those ominous eyes, that filthy bitch always covers her face with hair. It was a mistake to have such a trash as a daughter-in-law right from the beginning. She never really liked Kana, but since Sylvian said he was marrying her, she couldn't do anything about it. No one can interfere with Sylvian's affairs. But it was to avoid marriage with the second princess. No one knows it was all an act. How dare she act like the mistress? How dare she treat her like a guest in this mansion? I'll kill her. If only she lived like a dead rat, she would have spared her. I shouldn't have let her into this house from the start. If it weren't for Kana, the second princess would have been Sylvian's wife. Josephine made herself known in every way possible. The queen is also aware of her efforts. So if they got married, she would have been treated like a god. If only the two of them got married. If only one day, Sylvian hadn't suddenly pulled out a card called Kana Addis. It should have been like that. If it worked that way, what would become of her? She would have not only been a woman married into a ducal family, but also a woman honored by her daughter-in-law who happens to be a princess, and she could live in high society for the rest of her life. But now, Josephine's position is at risk. She once dominated the society as the Duchess of Valentino, but not anymore. Although she has the title of a countess, it is nothing but a sham. There is a big difference in wealth, let alone land. A son without an ounce of her blood. Sylvian gave her nothing but a title. It was enough proof that Josephine is not important to him. That was the very beginning of her misfortune. Sylvian did not give any power to Josephine. Because of that, the influence she had was quickly getting smaller. The defeated flower of the society, with only one thing left to go down. But if the princess had become my daughter-in-law and made ties with the royal family, something like this wouldn't have happened. But that rotting bitch is now threatening to take over the role of the lady of the house. Josephine snorted. I hope she dies. A daughter-in-law who only interferes with my future. Kanna's calves are ragged right now. She is also feverish. She can die during her sleep with broken body parts. Of course, Josephine contemplated with the idea. She doesn't care whether Kanna dies or not anyway. Kanna's biological father, brothers and sister, and even her own husband, Sylvian, did not care. It was then, with a knock, she heard a maid's voice. Mistress, the Duke of Valentino has come to see you. What? Josephine took a sharp breath. Sylvian wants to see her. At this hour. Why is he doing something he never did before? Sylvian, his stepson, doesn't usually interact with her. He is polite whenever they meet. But that's all. It was very rare for him to find Josephine first. Before she could answer, the door opened. Josephine held her breath and unconsciously clenched her fists. Sylvian. A tall man strode through the open door. The moment she met his clear blue eyes, she had an illusion of fear. It was a feeling cold. Why did you come? She unknowingly spoke with a quivering voice. But it wasn't her choice. How many people are there who won't freeze in front of Sylvian Valentino? Josephine looked at Sylvian's face and swallowed. Sylvian's strands of hair are scattered over his snow-like white skin on his forehead. Is it because he's all white? He looks like an ice sculpture. He is beautiful but, even from his breath, he is chillingly cold. Even his gentle smile doesn't look like a smile. But why did he come? He's not here because of Kanna. Is he? Sylvian did not answer. Instead, he walked and sat on the sofa. He sat cross-legged and comfortably leaned on the backrest. A natural gesture as if he's in his own room. Opposite from him is where Josephine silently sat. I've heard some strange news. A frosty, low-pitched voice said. Josephine felt something similar to putting ice on her back. Strange news. She didn't believe it at first. But now she's sure that it's about Kanna. Just what the hell did she do? However, the following words were different from what she imagined. It was about the birthday banquet of the second princess. I heard you assured them that I would attend. She heaved a sigh of relief in an instant. Of course, that's right. There's no way he would come here for Kanna. That little bitch. That's right. You're always working these days. And I promised Her Highness, Princess Lilian, that you would attend. Sylvian put his hands on his knees. Then he slowly raised his lowered eyes to look at the person in front of him. Promise. As if he heard a strange word, he repeated it in a calm, inquisitive tone. Josephine's breathing seems to be blocked once again. Blue. Deep blue eyes. She couldn't dare herself to look into those eyes, so she bowed her head. Like a sinner, the corners of Sylvian's lips went up a little. Countess Elister, do you have the right to do that? Sylvian, because the princess said she felt lonely after not seeing you for a long time. If so then, Countess Elastar, you should become her companion. Your privileges are only that much. That's how much rights you have. Countess. It was like an unarguable command. Right after he said that, Sylvian rose from his seat. Excuse me for leaving. He quickly left through the door considering he no longer have any business with her. Josephine could only clench her hands. She couldn't even protest against him. Hi. Want more? From AudiNovel. Subscribe for more.